for the first time in more than a century, Times Square will be virtually empty on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's going to be different. And aside from the performers, no crowds will be allowed at the crossroads of the world. But this year, people watching from home will have the power to choose how they ring in 2021. So here to fill us in on all of this star-studded lineup and the personalized virtual experience is Tim Tompkins, president of the Times Square Alliance. Tim, thanks for being with us.
Good to see you.
All right, there's a lot in store. I know it's going to be different this year, right? The ball is going to drop virtually. No one going to be there because everyone's being told to stay at home. So tell us, how are you going to make the festivities just as bright and merry?
So as you said, some things are going to be the same. There's going to be, the ball will drop, and there's going to be amazing live entertainment. You know, ABC has J-Lo and Billy Porter, and then Gloria Gaynor is going to sing I Will Survive and, you know, walk out that door.
Perfect.
And you're going to be able to see those things online or on the broadcast networks. Online, it's tsq.org. And there's an amazing new thing now, which is the New Year's Eve app. So if you go to the App Store, NYE app, you'll be able to create your own virtual universe. You can create an avatar, you can choose your camera angles, you can be a participant virtually in Times Square. But in Times Square itself, it's going to be sealed off. It's not going to be possible to get anywhere near there.
What do you mean be a participant virtually? Will other people see you as well?
Well, you know, I'm not a gamer myself, so I don't know all the details of it, but essentially you're going to be able to, you create your own avatar, dress yourself up, dance, and have some experiences in One Times Square, the building that the ball drops from, as well as watch the actual live performances through these avatar-like experiences.
Okay, wow,
So
this sounds
cool.
so high-tech.
Right? So obviously, Tim, there is no shortage of entertainment this year, right? But heavy emphasis here on crowd control. So we got these performances taking place. Will there be any security? How much security? And what is the plan for keeping people from gathering?
It's a good question because New Yorkers being New Yorkers, they're going to try and game the system. But anybody who's been to Times Square in the past knows that the police completely seal off the areas way outside of Times Square, like 6th Avenue and 8th Avenue and North and South. Those same perimeters are going to be in place, but they're not going to be letting anyone through. So you literally won't be able to see anything or get anywhere near the heart of Times Square. There will be a very limited number of people that we're calling everyday heroes. One of the traditions at Times Square is to honor someone who represents the best of the human spirit. Normally it's someone who's very well known. This year, it's the everyday heroes ranging from a healthcare worker to someone who's been testing to a EMT worker, but also people like delivery folks, people who've been delivering food, grocery store workers, essential workers, everyday heroes that through their creativity and courage have helped us get through this really difficult year.
Yes, that is fantastic.
Totally separated pens, about 40 of those people spread out in separated pens.
Oh, good. What a great treat for them. What about invited guests by the performers? Are they going to be bringing people as well, or are they being told you can't do that either?
No posse.
Well, you know, performers being performers, they may absolutely need those, you know, that hair person.
Of course.
Everybody's going to have to take a COVID test the day before and the day of. Nobody's going to be able to just sort of wander in or be like, oh, I'm bringing 30 friends. It ain't going to happen.
Even if it's in your rider, J-Lo, it's not going to happen, right? She's performing.
You know, in general, J-Lo gets, should get whatever she wants. But I think in this case, there'll be a few constraints.
Got it.
So, Tim, how many viewers are you expecting to be virtually tuning in to this New Year's experience?
Well, the interesting thing is, you know, the live event always has, you know, between 500,000 and 1 million people. But the big audience has always been the broadcast networks, hundreds of millions of people, and then online around the world, and about 1 billion people watching the ball drop as you get closer to midnight. I think this year, two things are going to happen. First of all, people are a lot more used to experiencing things virtually. So there's going to be people at home watching. And normally, people who are out partying at a New Year's Eve party, they're kind of looking at the New Year's Eve event, you know, over their shoulder. I think they'll be paying closer attention and more people, frankly, this year, especially because of the app.
Absolutely. Okay, so you talked about a couple of performers, Gloria Gaynor, J-Lo, who else?
There's I should know off the top of my head. There's a country music star, but I'm not a country music person. But
don't worry, we won't show this to him.
We always hit all the major, elements of the zeitgeist.
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be such a good show. And the beauty of it is people don't have to stand in line, and the big question every year is, if you stand in line when there are crowds there, how do they go to the bathroom? How do they do that all day long?
People love that narrative. People work it out, and there's usually ways in which people can go. What we never sort of say, hey, look, you can just sort of leave and come back in 2 hours, because that's a big crowd
Right.
control and security problem. But people work it out. But it's a narrative that people love to play with.
Are you worried at all, though, because people are at home and they're told not to party, right? Not to have people come over, that maybe they won't be staying up for this? They may call it the end of the year at 10 o'clock at night.
I don't think so, because in general, every year, New Year's Eve is a time when people kind of take stock of where we've been over the last year and have a kind of reset. It's based on the winter solstice, when the days go from getting shorter and darker to turning around and getting brighter and longer.
Right.
And this year especially, there's such a need to say good riddance and goodbye to 2020, a really, really tough year, and to sort of say, you know what, we really want to celebrate the people and the things we love. Some of us have lost people that we love.
Yeah.
And say, let's have a new beginning. So I actually think that people feel an even stronger need for the ritual of New Year's, even if it's going to be different this year than ever before.
Some semblance of normalcy.
Right.
Tim, thank you so much for all the work that you're putting into this so that we can celebrate the new year. Boy, I got to tell you, we're ready for 2021.
Totally.
So
All
ready.
right. Take care. Happy New Year to you if we don't see you.
Happy New Year.